Hey everyone, Rico Reviews here. It's time for my The Good Doctor recap. So to recap on tonight's episode, the two patients were this little boy who was in dire need of a liver transplant, and he apparently has already had one before that was a perfect match, but his body rejected it. So he's in desperate need of finding a liver, and they find one, but the catch is that it's a prison inmate that's in jail for murdering 7 people, so the board talks about it and they agree to let the inmate donate his liver. And the little boy, he's 7, so he thinks this guy is, obviously he's done bad in his life because he's in jail for it, but he thinks that if he gets this guy's liver that he's somehow going to turn evil, which isn't the case. And they're trying to reassure him that he does need this in order to live. And one of the doctors, who's a new resident, who I actually kind of like, I don't remember his name, but he was suspicious of the inmate, and when they were redoing the hospital room, he was telling them that he can't be trusted, that he'll snap at any moment. Like, he just is waiting he's just basically looking to gain people's trust in order to strike at any moment. And when they go in to do the surgery, he has an allergic reaction to the anesthesia, and they can't perform the surgery. So right when they're about to go back to when he's about to go back to jail, he actually whips a gun out at this officer and threatens him, and they're trying to convince him to put the gun down, but he actually ends up shooting himself, and because he's an organ donor card, he's able to donate his liver back to the boy. And the boy was, again, hesitant at first, but Claire, did the bold move and actually told him that he killed himself in order to kind of redeem himself in a way and save the boy's life. And it was kind of sweet at the end. The boy wanted to send a card to his parents saying that he'll take care of his son's heart, but it's also kind of sad because he hadn't had contact with his parents in like decades. The other patient was this girl who I believe had her heart growing outside of her chest, so is getting the surgery done to have the heart in her rib cage where it's supposed to be, but her heart is actually too big to fit in there. And she's devastated. Like, she wants this surgery because she's never been able to hug anyone before. And Sean can definitely relate to that, because when you have Asperger's, like I do and like Sean has, we don't like it when people hug us at all. So we hesitate to kind of get that affection. So Sean knows exactly what she's going through. And they can do the surgery. They found this way that they can, but she'd have to postpone the surgery until she's 18, but she wants to do it now. She wants to be able to live her life and be able to have people touch her. And Morgan actually comes up with this way to, like, I believe, expand her rib cage, that it would grow. This implant would grow with the rib cage, and it is actually successful. But what I notice is that Morgan is definitely a bitch. She's has Sean on her team this week, and she's telling him that, to schmooze people at this ball that everyone's going to, that he needs to buy this expensive suit and needs to, be able to network with people the right way to get what they want. But the chief of surgery says that if Sean wants to get ahead, that people will respect him for him and his talents. And I didn't really like the fact that Morgan said that she doesn't think Sean is smart. I'm like, oh, hell no. And especially in the meeting when they're discussing about the experimental procedure about expanding the rib cage, saying that Sean uses autism as a crutch. I don't see that. He's not using it as an excuse like, I have autism. He's open and will tell people he has autism and hopes maybe people can understand him better, but he never says, oh, I can't do that, I have autism. I don't think he uses it as a crutch at all. I definitely think Morgan is a schmoozer and kind of a kiss ass. and I believe the other staff is aware of it. At this ball, Sean is a bit nervous, as we saw in the beginning of the episode, when this crowded bus. Like, that's a big deal. I know when I go on a crowded bus, I'm just like kind of standing still. I don't know what to do or say. And Sean's a bit nervous about this ball, and we see at one point he's having a hard time trying to socialize with everyone. Like, he's by himself at a party, and I've been there before. I've, been by myself at a party or at an event and not knowing what to say to people. He actually sneaks away and sees that and visits. Well, he doesn't really visit. He checks in on that patient who had the heart trouble and sees, she's having a good time socializing with her friends and getting hugs for the first time, that he decides to socialize at the party and mingle with other doctors. And even the chief of surgery, helps him mingle a little bit. And you see, like, this proud smile come over Sean's face. I mean, that was a big deal. That's a big deal for us to just go and socialize. Like, he's able to find a common ground and, go with that. So I'm really proud of Sean. That's a very big accomplishment. We did see at the party that Garrett wanted to make his and Claire's relationship public, but apparently while they were there, they break up. And because Claire couldn't remember the song that was playing during their first kiss, Garrett doesn't believe that Claire really loves him, and he dumps her. And I'm like, wow, I feel really bad for Claire. But I definitely see her flirting with Melendez a lot. So I definitely think at some point or another, I don't know if it's going to happen this season, because that would be rather quick, because he's going through breaking up his fiance, and now she's going through a breakup, so I think that'd be pushing it a bit. But I definitely think at one point or another we'll see Melendez or Claire hooking up. So yeah, it was definitely a good episode of The Good Doctor. If you guys want to check out The Good Doctor, it is on Mondays, 10 p.m. on ABC. Till next time, stay regal.